Hey guys, Nabil here. The new generation of gaming consoles are upon us. Right, just a couple months from now we're gonna have new consoles, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, or Series SX, or X something. I don't know what they were thinking with naming the new Xbox, but we'll talk about that later. And of course we have the PC with Nvidia making big news splashes with the recent launch of the RTX 3080 and 3070. So, as a gamer who wants to switch to the new generation, which one should you get? This is exactly what we're doing in this video. We're gonna discuss each of these options and which one will be right for you. But before we do that, remember to subscribe and tick that bell so you're notified whenever a new video from Neo Geo Now is uploaded. And a kind reminder that the Neo Geo Now shop has opened and you can order some really cool t-shirts, hats, mugs, and all these cool things that are influenced by SNK and Neo Geo. You'll be supporting the channel and getting these cool goodies for you. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the realm and world of video games. So, as I said, the new generation is upon us. Sony has showed its PlayStation 5. They gave us the price. Pre-orders opened and closed pretty quickly. Xbox Series X with Microsoft and the Xbox Series S, and of course Nvidia, as I said. So it's pretty confusing times when you have all these new generation items and consoles coming out at the same time. You know, if you're on a budget and you have to choose one of them, it's a difficult choice, right? If you can afford all of them, go for it and have fun. But let's talk about each one of them. And as for us, mainly as fighting game fans, which one should we get now? And should we get anything right now? Let's start with the first one, the PlayStation 5, the Sony's next generation that we've been all waiting for. Gotta say I was a little bit disappointed on how it looks, but that's a personal opinion. In terms of raw power, it's more powerful than the PlayStation 4, but it's definitely the least powerful compared to the other two options we're talking about, which is the Xbox Series X and the Nvidia 3070 or 3080. Now, this, you know, like if you're just looking online and seeing all these words teraflops, if you don't know about all these technical stuff, it might be confusing. But don't stress over those numbers. What matters is how the game looks. I mean, as you can see, for example, some games we saw on the PlayStation 4, especially the first party ones like God of War or Spider-Man, at the time of their release, there was no other console or even PC that actually had those, you know, realistic looking graphics and cool visuals. So it's not all about numbers. Now the PlayStation 5 is coming out in two versions, the $500 one and the $400 one. The difference between the two is that the $400 one does not have a disc drive, so it's going to be digital only, which is kind of scary because it looks like this is where we're going with gaming consoles, and the fact to not have your game, you know, so you can touch it and feel it is kind of scary to an old-timer like me. But again, thinking about it, you buy a game today, you install it, and then you keep, you know, and then most of the game is downloaded, so you don't really ever have a real copy of the game. You just have a base demo that you install thing on your hard drive, and with those updates and DLC, and you get the final game. So I can understand that. So $100 difference. If I was gonna get the PlayStation 5, and I will be getting a PlayStation 5, and we'll talk about when later on, I will definitely go with the disc drive one for two reasons. Reason one is I want to have, you know, I want to buy collector's edition. I want to, you know, be able to put CDs in my console and you know, have the illusion that I'm actually playing the game from the disc. The second thing is that disc drive is actually also a 4K Blu-ray player, and those players are actually quite expensive. If you just want to go get a good 4K Blu-ray player, you're looking at $200, $300 for some good ones. So the fact that it's, you know, for $100 more, you get the ability to play 4K Blu-ray movies, yeah, I'll go with that, definitely. Now, am I gonna get the PlayStation 5 now? Well, probably not. And, you know, I spent the previous two generations at least, PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, I pre-ordered those, you know, when pre-orders opened, and I got them on the first day because I could not wait, man. That was a huge thing to get the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually paid $600 for it. back in the day. And yeah, I've had all PlayStations since the first one. So I mean, naturally, I'm going to go to PlayStation 5. But am I gonna get it now? And the answer again is no. And for two reasons. Now, the first reason is that I don't see any launch title that has me that, like they give me that feeling that I need to play this on day one. I mean, I saw some cool games, right? I mean, I'm a big Marvel fan, so the Miles Morales Spider-Man looks really good for me. But first of all, it's coming out on PlayStation 4 as well. And, I can't wait. I don't have to play it right away. Right? I mean, they have some cool stuff with that PlayStation Plus feature where they give you these PlayStation 4 enhanced PlayStation 4 games, and some of them I didn't play or I didn't finish, like God of War. I know I didn't finish God of War, man. I know that's a crime, but it is what it is. But is it enough for me to go and pre-order and go through all that fiasco of getting your pre-order, on time? And no, I'm not gonna do that. So I am skipping buying PlayStation 5 on release, that's for sure. I'm just gonna wait. Nothing in there screams to me that I need to buy. There's no fighting game. Now, if King of Fighters 15 was coming out with the PlayStation 5, even though it's coming on PlayStation 4, I would definitely go for that. But no, not now. I'll wait for it. The second reason is that I was a bit burned by the previous two generations, mainly the third generation with PlayStation 3. Actually, both my PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 were launch consoles, and they both of them died after a few years because they had that the red ring of death for the Xbox and the blinking yellow light of death for the PlayStation 3. So that sucked, man. And the PlayStation 4, I also had that disk drive problem where it kept ejecting the game. It's so most of the time, not most of the time, I would say maybe 15%, maybe more. Those launch consoles have some kind of issues that they work out later on. And since there's nothing big I want to play on day one from PlayStation 5, I'll be skipping the PlayStation 5 for now. I will definitely get it in the next few months or maybe next year. Now, the next contender is, of course, the Xbox Series X. And first of all, who was in charge of giving this console the name? This is so confusing for people. I know what it is, you know what it is, but you regular customer who wants a new Xbox, is he gonna go for the Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X? Why are you doing this? How difficult was it to call it something, I don't know, Xbox 2 or Xbox, if they wanna name an Xbox Best, the freaking new Xbox, something different, because it's very confusing. And it's just, and to give you an example, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Xbox One X was, the pre-order started a couple days ago, and on that same day, the orders for the Xbox One X, which is the current generation one, actually increased by 700%. You know what that means? So many people thought they're pre-ordering the new upcoming Xbox, ended up buying the Xbox One X because of that confusing name. Now, with that rant out of the way, let's talk about the actual console. The console itself is a beast, and it's more powerful than the PlayStation 5 for sure in terms of raw power. Okay? Xbox, I did skip the previous generation or the current generation, the Xbox One X. I didn't buy it, and probably for the same reason I didn't buy it, I'm also won't be buying the Xbox Series X. Now, the Xbox Series X has a lot of cool stuff. As I said, raw power is more than PlayStation 5. And not only that, but you have the ability to play the entire disc library of the Xbox One X, the Xbox 360, and the first Xbox, which is huge, because the PlayStation 5, you can only play the PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation 5 games, not the PlayStation 3, not the PlayStation 2. And that, that backward compatibility is huge. So that's a big win for the Xbox. They also added this, they showed this where you can actually get out of the game and then, play another game or turn off your console. Next time you come back to the game, it loads you exactly where you were in that previous game. Kind of like, save states and emulators, and you know, you gotta do your Geofani, so you know what save states are. So it's like a save state for console, which is a big thing that I don't know, nobody thought about it. It kind of sucked that, you know, you want to play a game, you have to go through all the menus again and choose this and choose that. So that's a pretty cool feature, very basic feature, but it's great. And then you have the Xbox Game Pass, which is a great, I think it's a great deal. It's like Netflix for the Xbox games, and then games keep rolling out, but you have like brand new games, which definitely blows the PlayStation Plus out of the water. So that is pretty awesome, right? Now, the reason I did buy an Xbox One X was that all the Xbox One X games were also coming out on PC. So I thought, okay, I better have a powerful gaming PC that I use for other things, like making this video, for example, right? Because I do need a powerful computer to do all the video editing and all that. So let's you know, it's two birds, one stone, a powerful computer and a gaming computer. And since all the games of the Xbox comes out on PC, so I never had the urge to buy an Xbox One X, and I was just, you know, playing the latest Xbox games with sometimes even, you know, better resolution and better performance on my gaming PC, which is exactly the same reason I'm gonna be doing with the Xbox One X, and that's the Xbox Series X. See, I got confused. I was talking about it, and I got confused between One X and Series X. So let's talk about the third option, right? The third option. So again, just to recap, PlayStation 5, probably gonna get it in a few months. Xbox Series X, I will not buy it because the games will be released on PC, and I have a gaming PC. Now let's talk about the last contender, which is the Nvidia 30 series. It came out last week to a fiasco again of pre-orders, and this is the one thing that we have in common that all these items I'm talking about, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and the Nvidia cards have in common. They had terrible launches. When the PlayStation 5 went on pre-order, it went out of stock quickly. There was a lot of scalpers who actually kept buying things, bots, and people could not pre-order the consoles that they wanted to. Same thing happened for the Xbox. It sold out quickly and people started ordering the wrong Xbox with the Xbox One X. And the same thing again happened last week with the 30 series. It actually, I was trying to get one, and it went from coming soon to sold out, like in like a matter of a second. So and apparently what happened, there were a lot of bots that people use to actually buy many of these cards and then sell them for triple price on eBay and whatnot. So scalpers, and that's what actually killed the momentum and the joy of many legitimate customers who wanted to buy the card. But yeah, it's that card, man. So there's two big cards. You know, you have the 3080, right, which Nvidia is looking at as the flagship of the 30 series, and you have the 3070, which is, in terms of raw power, it's actually a little bit better than the previous generation, the 2080 Ti, which is a beast, and that one costs like $1,200. It started at $1,000. This is for $500, half price, and it's even better, slightly better. The 3080 is even better than the 2080. So if you have a powerful PC, if you already have a good computer with good RAM, good processor, and you're choosing between these three options, you know, the 3070 or 3080, if you can afford it, at $700, is actually a great deal because you now have a powerful computer and a great gaming PC, and all games are pretty much coming on PC now. The only games we were missing as, you know, PC gamers are the Sony games, but Sony recently announced that they're gonna start releasing their first party games on the PC. Now, it's probably not gonna be at the same time as the PlayStation 5, but a few months later you might be able to play Miles Morales Spider-Man on your PC, which is the same thing that happened with Death Stranding. That was the beginning, and Horizon as well. And it's looking, Sony has said that they're gonna be doing this more often, which is, again, it really seems to me that console exclusivity is dead. It's not. This is a thing of the past, except for Nintendo. Nintendo is the only one that still has console exclusive, you know, the Mario games and whatnot. You're not gonna see that on PC anytime soon. Maybe later. You never know. So, if all those games are coming out on PC, isn't it better to just go with a gaming PC? Well, yes and no. And the problem here, as us fighting games like to play online. Now, if things change in this generation and crossplay becomes the standard, then I would just go ahead and keep playing on PC. I'm not gonna buy a console. Really, I'm just gonna save money and just, you know, invest in a 3080 and have a beast of a computer and play against everybody else. But if it is like it is with the PlayStation 4, for example, I have the King of Fighters 14 on the PC, but like all the streams I do, all the matches I play are on PlayStation 4 because that's where I find most people, and there is no crossplay. Street Fighter is another story. I've been playing Street Fighter 5 on the PC since it launched, and because of the crossplay, I'm really happy. I didn't feel the urge to actually play it on PlayStation 4. So I hope with these new games, I hope with the King of Fighters 15 and with even Samurai Showdown getting an update, I hope that these new games are all going to be used in crossplay. If that's the case, I'm just going to stay with PC, and you should as well if you're actually looking for a powerful PC. But PC has one problem, is that unless you have your computer in the living room, you're only going to be playing on in your room or in your office and whatnot. So I have my gaming TV is actually close to my computer, and I have an HDMI going to it, so I don't have that problem. But I can understand that gaming consoles give you that, maybe they're not as powerful as the PC option if you can afford it, but it's not as convenient as having a console. So which console, if I had to choose one console again, it's very difficult for me to say now. I didn't see any fighting games. I'm a huge fighting game player. I didn't see anything that screams at me that I need to get that console. So I'm playing the waiting game right now and just enjoying what I have. I still have tons of games I haven't played. I still play on my PC, I play on the PlayStation 4, and I'm a happy gamer. I have not missed anything. Now, ideally, I would want to have all these consoles, but PlayStation 5, I'm probably gonna get it. Xbox Series X, probably not, because those games come out on PC, and I do have a gaming PC, so I'm gonna stay on PC for that. So what about you guys? I hope I helped you a little bit to just, because it's really confusing, and I feel that, the internet, man, it just creates so much hype that sometimes you're not even thinking about buying something, and then like all this hype just, start bombarding you with this, Twitter, Facebook, and you just, PlayStation 5, it's gonna sell out, oh my god, no, I'm not gonna find it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, even though like 2 minutes ago I said I'm not gonna buy it. So hype is very dangerous, guys. So try to control your hype, try to not be, a bit controlled by social media in general. I kind of sound like an old dad now talking about this, but seriously, it's just sometimes it really just reading messages on Twitter and reading the news, it just you end up panicking and you end up buying something you didn't even want to buy in the first place. And this is exactly, I see what's happening with PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and even the Nvidia GeForce RTX 30 series. So wait and see. Right? I mean, let's wait and see. We're not missing anything. As fighting games players, we're not missing anything. As SNK fans, we're not missing anything right now. King of Fighters 15 is definitely going to be on PlayStation 5 when it comes out. And by the time it comes out, we'll have a clear picture of what the situation is, if we should go with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X or stay with PC. So we'll see. But again, for me, probably I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 down the line and stick in to PC gaming for all games that come out on the Xbox Series X. So again, let me know in the comment section, what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna get any of the new consoles on launch day? Let me know why. Is there any game that you're looking for that you want to play on launch day? And other than that, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video from Neo Geo Now. Now don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not done so, and I would like to take this opportunity and thank my patrons for supporting the channel and making this content possible. Making daily videos and especially the documentaries and lore episodes takes a very long time and a lot of effort, and being able to get some support for these time-consuming tasks allow me to keep going and strive for more and better content. With that said, I want to give a big special shout out to Michael, Brian Yard, Fahad As-Suwaidi, Heinz Green 3, and SSBM Slicktricks, as well as special thanks to Shaka Asamiya, Refugio Robles, Felipe Guiumara, and Jie Hao Ju. Those of you who are not yet Neo Geo Now patrons, I hope you will check my Patreon page where you can become patrons, helping the channel produce more videos, as well as receive special perks that are exclusive to patrons, like early access to videos, exclusive making-offs, and other SNK digital goodies. Link for the Neo Geo Patreon page is in the description below. So until next time, thank you for watching.